Well, Gauteng Finance MEC Nomantu Nkomo-Ralehoko says the province's municipalities have lost 5 billion rand in revenue due to the coronavirus pandemic. Many have been unable to pay rates and taxes as companies had to shut down during the national lockdown. Midvaal local municipality mayor Bongani Baloyi stands out as an anomaly. And of course, it was also noted by the late auditor-general Kimi Makwetu. It was one of the few municipalities whose financial statements told a good story of a well-managed council. Well, Mr. Baloyi joins us in studio tonight. Good evening, and thank you so much for your time.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I'm happy you called me as Mr. Baloyi. I think it's good that I must start getting used to being referred to as Mr. Baloyi or my name, Bongani.
Because you are the outgoing mayor of the Midvaal. I was hoping to get to that last, but since you've brought it up, why are you not running again?
Because my term expires.
Okay.
It's that simple.
But are you going to stay in politics?
I think I'm going to take a little bit of a breather. I just need to reassess in politics and my life what I'm going to do next. So I think it's quite important for me not to jump into anything, but really fully just debrief myself of the past experience, which has been cumbersome, an incredible journey. So I think it's quite important that after such a feat, one can just take a step back, reassess, and decide what to do.
I remember about 7 years ago, you were coming in as one of the youngest mayor, if not the youngest mayor at the time, of a municipality in South Africa. And of course, there were big questions about what you would be able to deliver. You were criticized on your lack of experience, the fact that you were coming in effectively, having to hit the ground running without much of the politics, perhaps, as some of the older mayors would have behind them. What did that do to you in terms of your own journey? And I imagine the ability and the need to want to not just prove the skeptics wrong, but to also want to deliver the kind of services that you have in the Midvaal over the past 7 years.
Look, it was an insurmountable challenge, what seemed to be an insurmountable challenge at that point. So what it did help to do was to refocus me and to go through the basis and also take the time to gain the skill. And while building the trust, while demonstrating that I deserve the extra level of trust from my community through delivery. And over a period of time, they've afforded me a greater level of trust because we've continued to deliver consistently. So I think that in itself was legitimate, and the concerns people had prior to me continuing as mayor, because here's an unknown entity. And here's an institution that's worth easily 1.3 billion rands. You're not just going to trust anyone coming along. Someone has to prove themselves. So I've done exactly that, which is prove myself.
You've managed to improve the rankings of the municipality. It's now rated as one of the top 5 municipalities in this country in terms of clean governance. That in itself sends a very strong message about your own leadership capabilities and ability, but your commitment to true service delivery.
Absolutely. Look, and what makes it easier for me is that I've got a fantastic team, probably the best in the country, I must say. So I think they've assisted me to do my part by doing their part as well, but also working as a collective to ensure that we really crystallize our role and our primary objective as public representatives, which is to serve our community and stick to our core business, which is providing water, lights, and electricity.
How did you survive during COVID-19?
It was quite an interesting situation because I think for us, it's where we were able to stress test all these scenarios that were built in our heads, that what if, that's why you must have your financial ratio at this level, what if this happens? So we're able to deal with that part, then test the limitations of our ratio, of our assumptions, and it proved that actually because of the financial situation that we had built over a period of time and have a healthy reserves, which has assisted us to get out of this difficult situation where we're able to keep the lights going until, throughout the COVID as well, and absorb the impact. So we're able to test all of those assumptions that we make if such a thing were to happen, but it also illustrated to us that we need to modernize. We need to work harder in doing specific things. And I'm quite proud of what we've achieved in this short period of time with the extent of the changes and the re-improvements into the system that we managed to achieve.
How are you able to ensure that the work that you do does not get drawn into whatever political machinations may be underway at any given time? Because we see a lot of municipalities struggle to do that. So the administrative functions of the municipality seem to completely fall under every time there's a local government election, a national election, because the high turnover rate also just seems to be so high.
Look, I think for me, one, the basis is the oath of office. When I take the oath of office and I commit myself to doing specific things, which essentially is for me to do my work. So in doing my work also means that those who work, who will report directly to me or through whatever the systems act have provided, they do their part and I provide the leadership and do my part. So we've carefully understood all the role players within this value chain of governance. And in our engaging in this, we've actually refined it and actually simplified it to be able to do the work that it's done. And which is one of the greatest things that we've managed to achieve in our term of office, where there's consistency. So when you ask me what is my highlight, I'll say we'll build a system that delivers whether I'm here or not here. So I think the municipality is in a very stable situation, and it'll take a remarkable idiot of a special kind to mess it up.
You can't reach the kind of good governance that you have without having strong accountability. And again, accountability and consequence management seem to be one of the issues that many municipalities in this country are struggling with.
Absolutely. And it's also the type of environment you build and creating an institution. So any environment where, in fact, everything resembles the leadership. So everything starts from the top. So if you, as a leader, I'm saying to my staff, don't steal, and I'm the one who's stealing the most, it's not going to go anyway. It's important that what the leader stands for, that permeates through the entire institution, and if people are doing wrong things, they are dealt with. And there are two types of people who do wrong things: those who make bona fide mistakes in the course of doing their work, and they make honest mistakes; those who have the intention to mislead, to lie, to steal. And I must differentiate between those two, because the consequences are very different between the two.
Are you still going to stay in the DA?
Oh, yes. I'm going to just hang around, enjoy my time, chase my goals, and see what happens.
You have been in the organization serving as mayor at a time where other officials who have been members of the DA have left. You've seen Mmusi Maimane come and go. You've seen Herman Mashaba come and go. And do you at any point feel that the DA, when we look at what has been said by some of these individuals, that the DA is not a conducive environment for black leaders, excellent black leaders, even maybe like yourself, to be able to truly rise up through the ranks and lead the organization successfully?
What am I doing sitting here?
At a national level.
So, no. I completely disagree. I believe that the DA is to you what you make of it. I've been in the DA longer than the individuals you mentioned. We've gone through difficult times more than the individuals that you mentioned. And I'm still sitting here doing my part. So I think it's about the individuals as well.
What are those difficult times?
Oh, we went through losing congresses, from candidates, to losing policy conferences, to also at some stage feeling that you are being targeted, etc. So we've gone through. I mean, the politics is about contestation of ideas, and we've been in the melting pot of these contestations of ideas. I've got the bruises to confirm and the scars to tell the story about it, and I'm still here. So I don't know why others could not stay and continue, but I am still here, and I fought this environment, and I don't expect anyone to give me anything. I fight for every square inch.
All right. Bongani Baloyi, the outgoing mayor of the Midvaal, but you never know, maybe he'll turn up as a premier candidate in one of the provinces. You can nod or shake your head.
No. You've got a better chance of, in fact, you've got a better chance of seeing me at Kaiser Chiefs as a striker there.
Oh, wow, okay. Certainly not giving away any hints, are you? Well, Bongani Baloyi, his municipality being one of those able to not just deliver clean audits, but to, of course, survive under COVID-19, despite the struggle that has been experienced by many other municipalities in the province.